Hi, so in this video we're going to tackle the slotting operations in the faces of these two lobes. So again, let's start by defining a group and calling it lobe slotting. Don't know why I've capitalized the S there. And to start with, we are going to go with a pocketing operation. So we'll go with 2D and pocketing. And again, we need to orient this face properly. So I'm going to turn this by 90 degrees. And under the job assignments, we are going to start out by adding the deep pockets in this. And the easiest way to do this is if you grab the line that describes the outer edge of the base of the pocket and just double click on it and then add pocket. And we shall rinse and repeat this operation until we have all of the relevant pockets. And once we've got those, as we can see, we've got some strange toolpath nonsense happening down here. So we're going to define the top and bottom levels. So we'll start with the bottom level, which is this surface. And then we're going to select this surface as the top level. And we are going to take a look at the strategy for it as well. So we've got equidistant at the moment. Equidistance fine generally, but we may have some trouble in these narrower slots here. So I'm going to go with parallel because that's a little bit easier to guarantee a clean result with for something like that sort of shape. Now I'm going to click on generate toolpath, and as we can see, that looks pretty good. There is one more setting that I want to take a look at though, because we have a relief angle of 3 degrees here, which we don't want. We want perfectly vertical pockets on this. So I'm going to set that to 0 degrees, and we will regenerate that toolpath. Go to simulation, we clear that, we simulate that to current operation, and let's take a look at what it's going to do for us. Oh, sorry, a little bit fast there. So that's looking pretty good for us so far. Yep, that's doing exactly what we're expecting it to, and gives us a nice parallel clearance path and then a clean up pass around the edge, which does the job admirably. So we'll speed this up a little bit. And once this final one's done, we'll do a verify compare just to make sure we're happy with the results. And that looks pretty good to me. However, we do have some complaints right now, specifically about what's this saying is happening. Contact with workpiece on rapid feed. So this is something we can resolve quite readily. So we go to the links and leads, where it says feed switch 100%, which is determined by the tool diameter. You can actually just increase that level. So I've put it up to 5 millimeters. Okay, so I set it to millimeters instead of a percentage of the tool diameter. Again, worth noting, because obviously 5% of 2 mil really isn't that much. And we regenerate that now. And let's quickly resimulate, although I'm not foreseeing any issues with it. I'll just quickly run through that. Nope, that's come up all green now. That's excellent. So the next thing we need to do is we need to duplicate that on the far face. So once again, to transformations we go. Going to multiply toolpath, axis A, 180, leave that at 2, regenerate, and that looks good to me. So finally, we want to get this pocket here. That's going to be slightly different to do. So we'll go back to 2D and pocketing. Now, we want to grab the pocket, but we also want to preserve this inner boss as well. So we're going to grab the outline of that and we're going to add a boss. So it now knows it only wants to deal with inside this space. And again, we're going to define the, oh, didn't mean to do that. We're going to define the top level, and we're going to define the bottom level. We're going to generate that toolpath, and yep, okay, again, we need to change the strategy. So that goes to parallel. We'll set the relief angle to 0 as previously done, and we'll regenerate that. You can see we've got a little bit more toolpath going on in there. And again, we've got that same complaint, which is this time it's the ramp angle is too high. Okay, well, there's not really much we can do about that in this instance, especially given that it's only really 2mm deep. We can afford to let it plunge cut into that, I think. So we can turn off check for plunges, because as I say, for the sake of 2mm, I'm really not that worried about it. We regenerate, we've got a nice clean node value there. So we simulate up to current operation, and we'll run. Oh, sorry, ran that through way too fast. Let's redo that. Oh, dearie me, I am misclicking all over the place at the moment. I do apologise. We'll slow that down again, and we will run that. Let's wait for that to come back around. Okay. So yeah, that's not even a proper plunge. That's a helical entry anyway, so it's not really a big concern. But yeah, that's going around perfectly well. See, nothing to be worried about there. Under verify compare. Nope, that looks good. Now again, we have got, what error do we have here? We've got contact with the workpiece on rapid feed. Okay, well, let's quickly reset that one more time. So feed switch level we set to millimeters, and then I set it to 5, and I regenerate, and that should eliminate that problem. So we've got turned off check for plunges, so we can reset, simulate up to current op, press run, let it do its thing, and we can see we have no complaints there now, which is ideal. So I'm now going to go back into transformations, and I'm sure you guys know the drill at this point. A-axis, 180 step, 2 multiply count, regenerate, ignore the error message, regenerate, and we can see that's come back up. So that's our slotting operations complete. I shall see you in the next video.